Hello students! Today we are going to learn all about histograms, which is yet again another type of graph that we use to represent and describe data. So, what is a histogram? Well, judging from this picture, you can probably gather that a histogram is similar to a bar graph, and it is in a lot of ways, but there are just a few differences that we need to make note of. So, first of all, a histogram is a special type of bar graph with bars that represent frequencies of numeric data occurring within intervals, okay? And when I say frequency, I really mean the number of times that something is occurring. And when I say an interval, I'm talking about a set of numbers with the rule that any number that lies on or between those two values is included in the set, okay? So, like any graph, we always start with a set of data, which is represented here. These are the scores that various people scored on a safety test, okay? And they're organized from least to greatest already for us, which is great. And they created this histogram directly from this data, okay? Those intervals that I was talking about are noted along the bottom. So those are the different range of scores that you could receive to add to how frequently that score range is represented, okay? And for example, in the 41 to 45 interval, those would contain scores like 41, 42, 43, 44, and 45. So when I fill up this bar to say how frequently numbers in this range occur, I have to look for all of those numbers in my data set. So when I go back to my data set, I see 41 and 44 are the only numbers that are in between 41 and 45, which is why this bar goes up to 2, because that is how frequently a number in that range, 41 to 45, was represented in my data. I would do the same exact thing with 46 to 50. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers between 46 and 50. That is how frequently a number between 46 and 50 occurs, which is why that bar goes up to 4. Another thing that you might see that's a little different about histograms than bar graphs is that all these bars are touching, and that's because we flow straight from one interval into another. Therefore, there are no gaps, and that is why all our bars are pressed together. So now that we kind of got a brief overview of what histograms are all about, we are going to make our own. So in this situation, Ethan started rating each movie he sees using a scale from 1 to 10 on an online site. Here are his ratings down below, and here is our blank histogram that we need to fill in with this data. One thing that I would always note about my histogram before I start filling in my bars is what my intervals are. I have intervals of 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, 7 to 8, and 9 to 10. So what I'm going to do is figure out how frequently numbers between 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, and so on occur, so I know how high to make my bars. So let's start with our first interval of 1 to 2. So I'm going to look at all my data for numbers from 1 to 2, and I see 2 of them. That is how frequently numbers between 1 and 2 occur in his ratings. So I'm going to go and make my first bar, and I'm going to make it go up to 2. I'm going to cross these out so I don't confuse them later on, and I'm going to go to my next interval, which is 3 to 4. So I'm going to look for all the ratings between 3 and 4. So you see 4 and a 3. Just 2 again. So that is how frequently a number from 3 to 4 occurs. So I'm going to make that bar go to 2 as well, because there were 2 numbers in that range. Next, 5 to 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 and 6 occurred 4 times. So that is how frequently it occurred in his rating. So I'm going to make 5 to 6 go up to 4 because there are 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers that are within 5 to 6. 7 to 8. So I'm going to see how many are in there, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, that is a popular rating. So 7 to 8 occurred very frequently it occurred 6 times. So I'm going to make the 7 to 8 bar go up to 6. Okay, now on to the last one, which is 9 to 10. I see 1 10 and 1 9. So numbers occur in this interval 2 times, which is why I'm going to make that bar go to 2. So as you can see, all my bars are touching. All of my bars go to very clear frequencies. And now that I have such a lovely histogram, I'm going to go and answer the questions down below. So, first question, sorry. How many movies did Ethan rate from 9 to 10? So, in order to see this, I would look at my histogram and I'd look at it in the 9 to 10 category, which goes up to a frequency of 2. So he rated 2 movies from 9 to 10. Next one. How many movies did Ethan rate from 1 to 4? So I look along here, and this one isn't as simple as the last question because 1 to 4 isn't in just one category. 1 to 4 not only covers 1 to 2, but also 3 and 4. So 1 to 2 occurred twice, 3 to 4 occurred twice. So how many occurrences were from 1 to 4? A total of 4. We had 4 movies that were between 1 and 4 because those bars add up to 4. Next one. How many movies did he rate in total? Well, we kind of already got started on the work for this. He rated 2 movies from 1 to 2, 2 movies from 3 to 4. He rated 4 movies from 5 to 6, 6 movies from 7 to 8, and 2 movies from 9 to 10. So if that's how frequently all the ratings occurred in each bar, if we add them all together, we can have how many total movies he rated. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 4 is 8, plus 6 takes us to 14, plus 2 takes us to 16. So we have 16 total movies. Next, how many more movies did Ethan rate 7 to 8 than 5 to 6? So we have to extract some data and information from our histogram. We need to find out how many more he rated 7 to 8 than 5 to 6. Well, 7 to 8, he rated 6 movies. 5 to 6, he rated 4 movies with that score. So how many more is 6 than 4? 2. If we just subtract those 2 numbers, we get an answer of 2. Last question on this page. True or false? More than half of Ethan's ratings were rated 7 to 8. Well, we know that he rated 6 movies 7 to 8. But to determine if that's half or not, we have to think about how many total movies he rated. When we added up all of these bars, we got 16. And I can tell you right now that half of 16 is 8. So in order to have more than half of his movies rated 7 to 8, we would need more than 8 votes in that category. And 6 is not more than 8, so that is going to be false. Okay, continuing on to our last round of questions. This is nice because we're presented with a histogram, and we need to analyze this histogram to answer the questions below. So each of these employees in an office took a 60-point test on office safety. The test scores listed in the histogram below. How many movies, so now we'll start our questions. How many employees scored 41 to 44 points? Well, looking at our test results, 41 to 44, that bar goes up to 2. So it looks like we had 2 employees score within the 41 to 44 range. Next question. True or false? More employees scored 53 to 60 than 41 to 52. So 53 to 60, well, 53 to 56 is one category, then 57 to 60 is another. So I need to actually lump those 2 categories together to find that value. And then when they ask us for 41 to 52, 41 all the way to 52. So I have to actually lump all of these three together. So to kind of anchor my thinking and organize myself a little bit, I'm going to write the frequencies on the top of each one of those bars so it's easier for me. This bar goes up to 2, so we had 2 occurrences there. This one went up to 2 as well. This bar went all the way to 6. This bar, went just in between 4 and 6. What number is in between 4 and 6? 5. And then this one went to 5 as well. So, how many scored between 53 and 60? Well, 53 to 60 would be these 2 bars, and that's 10 people. Then when we determine 41 to 52, that would be these 3 bars. 2, 2, and 6 gives us 10. So did more employees score between 53 and 60 as they did, or than 41 to 52? No, these were equal. So in this case, this sentence is going to be false. Next, how many employees took the test? Oh, well, if you remember, this question was on our last problem. How many employees took the test? Well, we just have to add up all our bars to figure out how many answers we have. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 6 is 10, plus 5 is 15, plus another 5 is 20. So we have 20 employees that took the test. True or false? The histogram is symmetrical. So if you remember from our dot plot unit, we talked about symmetry slightly. And symmetry is when you slice your graph in half if one side matches the other. So looking at this, does this side match this side? Nope. Therefore, this is going to be false. And it's false because I would refer to that graph as being non-symmetrical, since one side does not match the other. Next question. There are 6 employees that scored in the blank interval. So I have to figure out what interval had 6 employees score in that range. We had 2 in this graph, or this bar, 2 here. 6 was in the 49 to 52 range. Next, true or false? More than half of the employees scored 45 to 52 points. Well, 45 started at this bar, 52 ended at this bar, 45 to 52 is a total of 8 people. So now we have to determine if that's more than half. So when I totaled all my values up earlier, I got 20. Is 8 out of 20 more than half? No. Half of 20 is 10, and 8 is less than that. So this is going to be false because 8 is not more than 10. Thank you so much for following along and listening. If any of these questions or information went a little bit too fast for you, please be sure to rewind. You can pause on these videos, which is so great. So while you're processing, you can pause the video so that it doesn't go too far ahead of your level of understanding. Okay, please review this before you answer your exit ticket. Do the best on your work. And again, your teachers have plenty of office hours to help you. You can message us on It's Learning, email us. Please, we want to help. Thank you.